Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. Chemistry can be one of the most interesting, but also one of the most risky sciences. The combining of certain chemicals can cause pretty unexpected reactions that make for wonderful demonstrations. If that's something you're interested in, then keep watching for our top 10 list of chemical reactions that will blow your mind. Number 10. Thermite and Ice. Have you ever wondered what combining fire and ice together could result in? Well, the answer is a boom. This is what occurs when you take a bit of help from thermite, which is a mixture of aluminum powder and a metal oxide. When this mixture is ignited, there's an exothermic oxidation-reduction reaction, which is a chemical reaction in which the energy releases in the form of electrons that are transitioned between the two substances. Just like that, when the thermite is kept on top of the ice and lit with the help of a flame, the ice immediately catches on fire and a huge amount of heat is released in the form of an explosion. There isn't any clear scientific theory present on why thermite ends in an explosion. However, one thing is quite clear. Don't even think of trying this at home.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Pharaohs Snake. The Pharaohs Snake is a simple demonstration of fireworks. When mercury thiocyanate is burnt, it breaks down into 3 components, and each one of the 3 further breaks down into 3 others. The result of this reaction is a growing, snake-like column that spews out ash and smoke. Since all compounds of mercury are toxic, the best and safest way to perform this experiment is in a fume hood. There's also a serious fire risk involved. The easiest possible solution to experiencing the Pharaohs Snake, however, is to watch a video demonstrating the reaction, if you don't have access to the materials. Number 8. The Meissner Effect. Cooling a superconductor below its transitional temperature will make it diamagnetic. It's an effect in which the object will be drawn away from the magnetic field and not be attracted towards it. The Meissner Effect has also led to the idea of frictionless transportation, where an object can be levitated along a track rather than have it attached at the wheels. This effect can also be replicated in a lab. The only things you will need are a superconductor and a neodymium magnet, along with liquid nitrogen. This is a straightforward experiment in which all you have to do is cool the superconductor with liquid nitrogen, and then place the magnet on top to observe the breathtaking levitation. Number 7. Kaleidoscope reaction. The beauty of this reaction lies in the wondrous fact that it was discovered by mistake. When the Soviet chemist Boris P. Belousov was attempting to develop a simple chemical model of the oxidation of organic molecules in living cells, he observed that the reaction did not proceed to completion and instead transitioned between various colors, looking exactly like the illustrations of a kaleidoscope. To achieve this result, you simply need to combine bromine with an organic acid, preferably malonic acid, in the presence of a metallic catalyst, such as magnesium or chromium. And what you'll see in the end are a stream of ripples switching between colors. This reaction is also known as the Belousov-Zhabotinsky reaction. Number 6. Instant snow. This reaction is one of the most straightforward reactions on the list. Sodium polyacrylate is a curious polymer. It has an incredible water-absorbing and retaining capacity. Thus, when water is added to this cross-linking polymer, it immediately fills up with hydration and forms white, fluffy clumps that don't stick to each other and look exactly like snow. The powdered polymer can absorb as much as 500 times its mass in pure water just within a few seconds, which is pretty amazing to see. To be even more fascinated, add in a little fluorescent dye and observe this reaction in the dark. The visuals are captivating. Number 5. Supercooled Water. You might not hold the ability to freeze everything around you as Elsa was able to in Frozen, but you can easily freeze water with just a touch of help from this fascinating science experiment. The Supercooled Water experiment is about cooling purified water to negative 24 degrees Celsius. Once the water is chilled, the bottle can slowly be taken out and tapped at the bottom or at the sides to kickstart the crystallization process. As purified water contains zero impurities, water molecules have got nothing to hold on to around, which means they're going to form solid crystals. The external energy given in the form of a tap or hit will allow the supercooled water molecules to form solid crystals and will start a chain reaction that will crystallize the water throughout the bottle. Pretty cool, right? Number 4. The Gummy Bear Experiment. A poor, innocent gummy bear, a test tube full of liquid potassium chlorate, and a couple of slightly crazed scientists. Sounds like the perfect setup for some weird budget horror flick, does it not? Well, fear not, for the situation at hand is not as scary. So, let's get on with the process. Since this is quite an explosive experiment, the experiment begins with a blast, or to make it more technical, with a rapid oxidation reaction. This reaction, plainly put, is just placing a gummy bear into about 10 grams of molten potassium chlorate. If you're unfamiliar with molten potassium chlorate, it's a strong oxidizing agent that reacts violently with sugar, and gummy bears are used since those delicious goodies have lots of sugar in them. So in all, we have 2 reactions taking place here: the decomposition of the metal chlorates into a metal chloride and oxygen gas when heated, and the sugar from the gummy bear reacting with the oxygen gas to produce carbon dioxide and water. In the second reaction, energy is released in the form of heat and bright light, all in a quite spectacular exothermic reaction. And of course, this whole experiment is done behind the safety of a fume hood because, well, let's face it, no one wants molten gummy bear to get on them. Number 3. Elephant toothpaste. That's right, you heard that correctly. This is probably one of the most infamous experiments on this list. If you ever decide to get an elephant as a pet, don't worry, its dental hygiene will be no hassle. This reaction is a simple decomposition reaction between hydrogen peroxide and potassium or sodium iodide, with a little help from some soap added to the reactants. This combination will result in the production of a large quantity of foam and bubbles that look like toothpaste has exploded out of a tube. You can also add dyes to the solution to produce more vibrantly colored toothpaste. However, whether it's able to clean an elephant's tusk or not will have to be determined later on by you. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. The picture shown above has clearly captured the wonderful hot ice experiment. Sodium acetate trihydrate is more commonly referred to as hot ice, and that may sound like a dangerous chemical, but in reality, it can be conjured up in your kitchen with just vinegar and sodium bicarbonate, which is simply baking soda, and is not dangerous in any way. However, do be careful, for this is not to be confused with dry ice, which, make no mistake, that will result in severe burns when exposed to skin. Hot ice is derived from sodium acetate, a key ingredient used in heating pads and hand warmers, along with water. A video uploaded reveals exactly what would take place if you were to stick your hand in a jar of hot ice. After coating his hand with sodium acetate, the man in the video sticks his hand in a nice big jar of liquid sodium acetate dehydrate. In a matter of seconds, the man's hand is encircled by crystallized sodium acetate. Although it may seem like the hand is frozen in a jar of ice, the man said that it actually feels warm and has the consistency of ice cream. Number 1. Invisible water. Trust me, I wasn't able to see this chemical when I first saw the clip. Often used in magic tricks, sulfur hexafluoride is the densest of gases around, which means that it's not a liquid like water, but it is invisible. That means it's able to lift quite a bit of weight on top of it. Just like a lot of other gases, it absorbs and gives out all the wavelengths of the visible spectrum, making it virtually invisible to everything. However, unlike other gases, it's 5 times as heavy as air and applies a much lighter force on the objects kept over it. As can be seen in this particular video here, the boat made of tinfoil is floating in the pool of this miraculous chemical. The reaction for producing sulfur hexafluoride is complicated and involves reacting fluorine with sulfur in a controlled and catalytic environment. Next time you see someone performing this trick, you can explain it to your friends, or just stay silent and let them be amazed. Well, that concludes today's list of top 10 chemical reactions that will blow your mind. Let us know in the comment section below which one was your favorite. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching.